I'm going to be talking about. Today I'm going to be talking about music production and theory related to the changing musical landscape and the internet culture, and just why artists seem to be struggling with getting their word out, getting people to care, getting their listeners engaged, because it's really new territory, and we're covering new ground of all types here. The landscape's constantly changing, so a lot of people struggle with having to a lot of people struggle with competing in this new crazy online just entertainment landscape. The first and foremost thing to remember is your purpose, for one. What is it you're trying to do? I think with most artists it is they're trying to expand their audience, they're trying to reach as wide of an audience as possible while keeping their artistic integrity upholded. And it's never been easier to do. We've never had so many tools at our disposal to do that as we do today. It's really exciting of a landscape. Let me also give you a little bit of what gives me credibility and what makes me feel that I know what I'm talking about in this field. I studied computer engineering at UNT for 5 years. That's the University of North Texas, for those who don't know. In that time, I did a lot of research, not only through the internet about business of music, songwriting, streaming, but also history, music production theory, songwriting theory, listener psychology, because UNT has a gigantic music library. It's the fourth floor of their library is nothing but music information and knowledge. So I read a lot about the history of music production, and if you go back and read about the phonograph, the earliest form of musical recording in history, just read that shit. Go to Wikipedia, research phonograph, or go to Google, research how is a phonograph used, and you'll see immediately, or like how are original vinyl records recorded, and you'll see immediately how far we've come. It used to be a daunting, tedious process to even just get a recording, the audio on this, just to get that would have been a daunting process that would have taken precision and been stressful, taken all day. And now we have it as easy as I just decided to do this, and I had a video camera in my room, and I went into my garage right here and I pushed play, and that's all I gotta do, and it's saved on this shit, and I can just take it into my computer and just upload it, share it with the world in one day. So when you realize that, and when you really gain respect for that, then you'll realize just how great the landscape is, and there's never been so much opportunity for people who want to get their shit out there. At the same time, what that ends up doing with the death of the music industry as we knew it, at the same time, it's like if you go on SoundCloud, when anyone can post up there, then there's anything and everything up there. There's really great shit there, and there's a lot. You gotta really dig through a lot of the bullshit to get to a lot of the great shit that you find there. And so it's easy for the real talented people to get lost in that, because even as SoundCloud, I'd see SoundCloud's like the MySpace of music streaming, and we're looking for a Facebook-like site, like SoundCloud, but a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit better, more reputable, a little bit more respectable. So I work on web development myself, and that's one of my aspiring goals, is to make a website like SoundCloud, but maybe just do a little bit more to encourage listener engagement. And there's this sort of notion of like a SoundCloud artist, or like a SoundCloud rapper, then people put you in this box automatically, even if you really know what you're doing, and you ain't no fucking Little Pump or no shit like that. But not dissing on like Little Pump. I thought it was great when he blew up, because I was posting music on SoundCloud too, and just even aside from the fact of what he sounded like, just to see someone else see just to see one of our peers, may actually, the people like Lil Pump and XXX, who like XXX Tentacion and all those artists like Lil Peep, whoever, they showed that they showed that it can be done. So that to me speaks volumes. But there's so much more, there's so much at our disposal, and there's no need to get trapped in this sort of box, this sort of label of this sort of style of music. So we need to move this culture forward, and we need to keep pushing, because you can make it if you're determined enough. I wholeheartedly believe that. Anyway, whether you want to admit it or not, you're trying to, if you're posting on SoundCloud, you want an audience. And you might just get caught, you might just find yourself making something you're really proud of, and it's just the world don't recognize it, and nobody wants to listen to it, and you're not getting any plays, and you start to get hard on yourself, and then you want to go back out and say, well, I don't care what anyone thinks of my music anyway. I'm just going to do me and fuck what y'all think. Well, if fuck what we think, why the fuck are you even recording it in the first place? You want people to you want listener engagement. That's every art. That would make my day as an artist, is to have fans really engaged, have people saying, I love your music. And here's the beauty of it, man. If you're passionate about what you like, if you like your own shit, I guarantee you got an audience out there waiting for you. They just haven't seen you yet. So keep pushing, man. Keep promoting yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself, because you can make it work if you try. There's something in the music business I've read that says, don't bother trying to jump on a bandwagon if you're an artist or an entertainer. And that's really what we are. Don't get too ahead of yourself on your own self-importance, because at the end of the day, you're an entertainer, dude. You ain't no prophet. I mean, if you want to teach somebody, give someone a little something to think about and apply to their own life, some kind of life lesson, then that's great. But at the end of the day, man, you're an entertainer, and people are going to be fucking with you because you keep them entertained, you keep them amused, you keep them engaged, and not because of what they're learning from you. And if you're really that much of a genius, man, you should try to be like a politician or something. Why are you making music, man? So if you ain't entertaining, if you're not keeping your listeners entertained and engaged and giving them, it's about what you got to pay attention to the listener's sense of expectation, man. What do they expect when they go to your page and they see your pictures and they see everything that accompanies your music before you play it? Because that's what's going to get them to play it. Do your listeners already know you? If so, then take their criticism with a grain of salt. Take their compliments with a grain of salt. A real friend's gonna tell you when your shit is trash, man. And really run with that, man. For every person that told me that my shit was trash, which not very many, because most people ain't willing to do that to you, to be that honest, to be that good of a friend. But that helps you grow as an artist, man. You want to be able to go out on stage and say, whatever happens, happens, man. Don't let them burst your bubble, man. Be proud of you, man, and just let people's appreciation be secondary, man. And don't give up just because, if people don't like your shit. Figure out why, man, because there's a reason why, and there's a way to change it, and a lot of times it's some of the most subtle things, man. Some of the most subtle details in your recordings can make all the difference, that's... even things such as just adding more vocal tracks, layering your vocals on top of one another. Listen to Eminem's early music like Kill You or Stan. He's layering, he's adding multiple tracks in the lines he wants to emphasize, when he's saying, you goddamn right, bitch, now it's too late. Our sugar platinum tragedies happen in two states. Like, when he says bitch, there's like 2 more vocal tracks to come in there or something like that. And then the song Stan, you can hear You can hear the pen scratching as he's reading his letter, just those little things, those little subconscious things. They sit in the, there's a fine line. It's like I'm playing this dartboard right behind me, there's such a subtle difference between hitting that in the bullseye and hitting it right outside the bullseye. It's such a subtle difference, but you know it when you see it. And anyone can hit a bullseye, man. You can practice and practice and practice, and you can still miss. Or you can be going up there first time, and you can get a hit. Look at Designer with his song Panda. That was the only song he posted on SoundCloud, and it was just a matter of being in the right place at the right time, and boom. He ended up on Kanye West's album, and it's not a matter of like I like this artist, I dislike this artist. It's a matter of like he was aiming for something and he got it. So what are you aiming for, man? Who is your favorite acts, like my favorite bands or rappers or whatever, I'd be rocking their t-shirt at school, I'd be dressing a certain way, I'd have the headphones in my ears all day, and the shit really spoke to me, and it cultured me, and just really figure out, your music's for anybody and everyone who wants to listen to it, but figure out like who's your primary target audience, your niche gonna be, because those are the people you want to get, you want to aim for. And what else do those people like? I've heard someone say the gaming community is really great with if you're a SoundCloud artist and you're trying to promote. Don't always just promote to like other artists or your friends on Facebook. Get outside your circle to people who don't know you, because they're not going to have the same preconceived conceptions about what you're doing. Just live your life too. Like, don't get too trapped on your damn computer or your fucking phone or on social media, man. Like, no wonder you ain't getting promoted. I wanna experiment with just, make flyers, man. Promote. Do some research on promotion, man, and find as many means of getting the word out there as you possibly can. And maybe even if for every 100 people you promote to, you might get 2 or 3 that really want to do. It's a grind, man. It's an uphill battle, but it's all about, do you want it or not? And if you're putting shit on SoundCloud, I think you want it, whether you want to admit it to yourself or not. So just stay engaged and stay focused on your listeners, man. You're making a product, alright? This ain't about you, man. It's about your listener. They're the ones they're the ones supporting you, man. That's your support system through this, is your listeners and your fans. So reach out to them, man. Be personable. Because that's what social media is very personable. Even when these people, these artists blow up, man, they got a Twitter page just like you. And it's not about elevating yourself. It's about bringing people together and showing that we're all the same and we're going through the same things and we can share these experiences together. So take the honest experiences, man. Be honest in your music and be yourself. And don't try to jump on some bandwagon ass style either. Don't try to jump up on some fucking what someone else is doing. And in fact, don't even listen to what's popular now. Don't listen to no current shit, man, because that shit's gonna get in your head. And whether you want to or not, you're gonna be copying those motherfuckers because that's what's popular. Guess what, man? The train's already left. You are too late. You're too late, man. They already got it, so you might as well just do you, man. Do what's in your instinct to do. It ain't to be some fucking copycat. Who are they copying? Sometimes, there are a lot of copycats that blow up, but it don't last long. Be an innovator, man. Be a pioneer. And really advance the culture. Don't just fucking regurgitate some shit. Anyway, that's all I got for this segment. If you like this video, or if I gave some good advice, or if you want to hear about something else, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. Anyway, I really want to help artists move themselves forward, and I'm very into, production, making solid pieces of work you can promote. Making albums like they used to be that were just solid, cohesive pieces of work, just great products that you're really giving something to your listeners. It's honest and true to yourself. And that is few and far between nowadays as far as artists go. So I really hope that this helps inspire some people, and just, keep on pushing, man. Our culture needs you, man. It's stagnant. So, thanks, y'all. Have a good evening.